In the last couple of years of traveling around the country and talking to designers and architects, I've come to the realization that many people in our industry do not have a full understanding of how the products we use in our business are made. Since my products are made by hand, using in some cases ancient techniques, I thought that an explanation of how these products are made would be helpful, both for general knowledge and the specifics of my furniture, as well as to explain the level of quality that goes into each piece of the Gary Hutton collection. There are three basic products in my line: cast bronze, fabricated bronze or stainless steel, and upholstery. Many steps take place to turn the raw materials into the finished piece. Here is how we do it. First, the cast bronze. We use the lost wax process in the production of our cast pieces, which is a technique that is at least 2,000 years old. We start by making a clay model of the piece. Then we make it full-size in clay. Molds are made from the full-size clay model. Special casting wax is melted and painted by hand into the molds. Once cooled, the wax is removed from the mold and inspected for cracks or flaws. These are repaired if there are any, and the piece is reinforced for the investment process. Investment is where the completed wax is dipped into a special plaster-like substance, then coated with silica. This is repeated several times to create a hard shell around the wax. It dries for a few days, then the invested wax piece is put in an oven. The wax is melted away, hence the name lost wax. Bronze ingots are melted in a crucible to 2,100 degrees, and the molten bronze is poured into the molds. Once cooled, the investment is broken off the piece with a hammer, and the cleanup process begins. Most of my pieces are cast in sections and welded together. The fabricated pieces begin with 1/4 inch thick bronze or stainless steel plate. The patterns are laid out and the metal cut. Sometimes a jig is used to assure consistency. The plates are put together in the correct shape and then welded. These welds are then ground smooth. We also weld on the inside of the tables or plug weld for invisible attachments. The piece is then meticulously cleaned for patination. Our patinas are hot patinas, meaning the piece is heated with a torch, and then a mixture of chemicals and water is sprayed on until the appropriate color and density is reached. The piece is then waxed several times while it is hot, allowing for maximum penetration of the wax into the bronze. By contrast, the stainless steel pieces are either brushed or polished to the desired luster, and no further treatment is necessary. The stone setting for the facet tables is entirely done by hand. As each table is slightly different than any other, careful measurements are made prior to the beginning of the stone setting. The stones are poured out onto a surface, a special jeweler's epoxy is mixed and squeegeed onto the top, and the stone setting begins, one at a time, until the top is complete. There are approximately 1,000 stones per tabletop. The upholstery begins with the selection of the hardwood for the frame. We use full 1¼ inch hardwood lumber for the frames, which is heavier than most, but will allow for multiple recoverings in the future. The frames are made in-house so that we can control the production and customization. The frames are glued, screwed, and doweled together for strength and longevity. Jute webbing is applied as a base for the springs. The springs are each tied by hand 8 times to each other and to the frame. Each knot must be precisely the same distance apart, or the tension on the deck will not be even. We have an apprentice program for the development of future skilled craftsmen. Burlap is applied over the springs and is hand sewn into place. Frame edges are outlined with cotton cord to cushion the edges. The shape is developed by hand patting until it is the right profile. Fabric cutting is done by hand, one piece at a time. Because our master cutter is so experienced, our COM requirements are 25% less than comparable models from other makers. The cushion fills are also made entirely in-house by hand to assure the perfect fit. Pattern matching and sewing are all individual processes that take time to assure a beautiful finish. The production of Gary Hutton furniture is accomplished by 3 teams of highly skilled and dedicated craftspeople, each bringing years of experience to the work to assure that each piece is beautiful, well crafted, and will last a lifetime. That is how we do it.